folks from around the world that like to watch this program. So, welcome to all of you. My name is Revolution McInnes. I guess the channel is RevMac Live, and the show is The Big Interview. Boy, that's a lot to take in. I need to trim that down. The program, The Big Interview, is a place where we get to interview all kinds of interesting, talented, and wonderful people. And tonight, I am just very fortunate to have the magic of Instagram bring me an absolutely just a beautiful voice that comes with an amazing human being. And and Rachel, you're going to get to know her, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited about that. Before we jump in and say hello to Rachel, I do want to let all of you know that Scooch Case is a sponsor of ours, and it is scoochcase.com. They're out of Carmel, Indiana, and they pass there is, a good company test, as much as I was able to investigate, but good people over there. And, I wouldn't bring you somebody who had a product that were bad people. The nice thing about Scooch is it has this little wingman feature, and that just becomes a little holder, to hold up your device, and voila, you close it, and you're done. Great case. You can drop it like 10 feet. Don't try it, but accidentally. And those folks make a good product. Buy it. Let them know you bought it because of the show, please, so they'll pay me more money. And without further ado, and I don't think we have any more bills to pay, if you're watching this on replay, which I think is where we're going to get a lot of people watching this, download the HAPS app if you haven't already done that, so you can yourself be a broadcaster. And if you download the app, you can find other broadcasters. You can subscribe to me. You can sponsor me. You can give awards. You can do all kinds of fun things. So here we go. I am just always excited to meet somebody new. And really, for me, it's because I know that I get to meet another cool person and be friends with them. So how are you?
I'm good. It's good to be here. It's kind of cool how we met on Instagram, and here we are.
Yeah, it is. And you are in California, right?
Yep, I'm in Los Angeles right now. I just moved here July 1st. So, I'm getting used to everything still and making my way around. And it's been a lot, but I'm getting used to it. And it's starting to feel like home every day that I'm here.
Where was home previously?
Michigan. I'm originally
Michigan.
from, yep, originally from a town called Midland, Michigan, but I moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where U of M is,
Uh-huh.
and I lived there for about 4 years, and then I moved from there here. So
Did you go to school in Ann Arbor?
I actually went to school in Ypsilanti at Eastern Michigan University,
Gotcha.
but I
Uh-huh.
just loved Ann Arbor because it's just such a beautiful city that, you know, I wanted to live there. So lucky
Great.
to have
Yeah.
that.
Well, Ann Arbor is a really nice place, and that they allowed somebody from Eastern Michigan in Ann Arbor is saying a lot for them. They've come a long way.
Definitely some shade there at times, let me tell
I,
you,
I
but
would imagine I would definitely not be wearing my Eastern Michigan garb in the wrong neighborhood in Ann
yeah,
Arbor.
you don't
But
wanna do that.
that's awesome. But that sounds very Midland, Michigan is it? It's in the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah, it's in the mitten. I'm gonna do the Michigan thing.
Uh huh.
So this is the mitten, actually, it'd be like this,
Sure.
and then Midland is, like, right here by the
Ooh,
bay.
and the crotch of the thumb.
Right here. Yep, and then, of course, you have, like, the UP of Michigan, which would be up here like this.
Right, right. Which is really Wisconsin. I don't know why they call it the UP of Michigan. It's hooked up to Wisconsin.
Yep, they're all up there, that's for sure.
So Midland, Michigan, population not a lot, I would imagine.
Population about 40,000.
40,000. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's decent.
that's a decent sized town. Big enough to, like I think where Purdue is or something like that, Lafayette, Indiana, those kind of places, about that size. If you got industry and in neighborhoods and things like that.
Yeah,
So, um,
absolutely.
what is it? How does one design? How did you decide you wanted to be a singer songwriter, a musician, an entertainer? When did that happen?
It actually happened when I was pretty young. I was doing ballet when I was like 4 years old and doing like, dance recitals in front of like thousands of people in the Midland Center for the Arts. It's like a giant auditorium and it seats about 1,400. So I was just this little girl on the stage with all these people like it was fun. There's a video actually of me. I got mad because they were laughing at us. You know how the little kids dance and adults they laugh because it's cute. And as a
Mm-hmm.
kid, I would get so mad when they would do that. So there's a video of me like sticking my tongue out at the audience, and then of course everyone just like erupted with even more laughter, and I was just so
Right.
mad, and I like stomped
Like,
off the
this
stage.
is serious work,
I
people. I'm a
know. I mean,
serious dancer.
we worked
Yeah,
hard. Why are you laughing at me? But
exactly. We put a lot of
yeah.
hours into this.
But yeah, I started ballet when I was pretty young and then did other sorts of dances like jazz and tap. And we would do musicals at our church that we
Mm-hmm.
grew up in. So at a young age, like, 6, 7 years old, I started doing church musicals like Jonah and the Whale, Daniel and the Lion's Den, and it'd be like these giant productions like on a Mother's Day Sunday. And we do these musicals. And that's where I got, into being on stage and performing and being an entertainer. And also I did piano lessons. So I started piano lessons pretty young when I was maybe 6 or 7. And then growing up in middle school and high school, I had vocal lessons. So I was just like really immersed in the arts from a
Did
very
you
young age.
have do you have musical parents or siblings or anything?
My dad sings. He also tried to play the clarinet because I played the clarinet as well as another thing that I did that's creative. Um, so he was like, I want to. He's from Ghana, so whenever I talk about him, I have to do the accent. He's like, I want to learn how to play the clarinet. So he bought this clarinet from like a garage sale, and like him and I would play together. But yeah, he sings, he plays instruments. My brother's also musical. He can pick up any instrument and be amazing at it. He plays saxophone, piano, drums, bass, guitar. And my mom is an artist. She paints, she weaves baskets. Like as kids, we would travel around Michigan. We were the art fair kids. Like we would go to
Mm-hmm.
different art fairs around Michigan where she would sell her stuff in her booth, and we'd just be the little kids running around in the back of the tent. But yeah, so my family is definitely very artistic and into the arts, and I'm very lucky that I got to be immersed in that my childhood.
Yeah, that is can make a really big difference, I think, for if you got a creative family and you're creative, it certainly helps having even an understanding of what creativity is. I was having a chat with a friend of mine, actually, who we're going to see next Wednesday, Vanya Renee, who is an actress and a comedian, and we were definitely talking about what it's like. Even in what I'm doing, and I've been around media and stuff for a big chunk of my life and entertainment, but even what I'm doing at this level, it begins to be difficult for other people to understand why you do what you do, the kind of the decisions you make as a performer, as an entertainer, because I'm those things as well in so many ways. And it really gets difficult to have people advise you, about what steps to take or moves to make because they just don't know the industry and everything. It's very specialized and not intuitive, I think, in a lot of ways. So it's great to have that creative family. I'm guessing the family misses you since they're in Michigan and you're in California.
Maybe. I talk to my mom about like just about every day, so I call her all the time. So I keep her in check with everything that I'm doing, and um, they probably do miss me, maybe a little bit. I don't know. My parents actually were nice enough to come out here and stay for a couple days. Actually, they stayed for about a week just to get me settled in and say goodbye. And they enjoyed California. They went off and drove on the PCH and got fruit on the side of the road. They told me the whole story. They're so excited. But yeah, it was like a vacation for them and kind of like a sending off for me. So it was
That
nice.
is nice. That is nice. The what was your impetus? Why LA? Why not Nashville? Why not New York? What makes LA where you wanted to be?
Well, I've been to both New York and Nashville quite a few times. And don't get me wrong, I love Nashville. I think it's a great place. But as far as living in the South with, all the racism and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
humidity,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pass on that. But,
Pass for the racism and pass for the humidity.
and for the
Um,
humidity, yes.
Geez.
Um, but it is a great place to go, and live music there is booming. So I'm definitely gonna go there to perform at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and just get myself out there more. But as far as living there, I was like, no, I don't love it enough to want to live there. So New York, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm used to the winters, but in the East Coast, they're pretty extreme too with the winters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't really want to deal with another winter. So then LA. I'm like, LA is
Hey.
great. I've been out here many, many times. Every time I'm out here, I have a great time. I feel very spiritually grounded and connected here. I don't know if it's because of the ocean and just, you're in nature. You can go to the mountains, you can go to the ocean. I'm a very nature person. That's what grounds me. And just every time I'm here, I just feel like home. It feels like home, it feels like I belong here.
Mm.
And it's nice too because I have family here as well. Um,
Oh,
my
excellent.
yeah, my cousin, he's a music producer. He's actually producing my EP.
Nice.
He's been here for about 10 years and he's been very successful with his career. His production company is called We Dope. It's WII Dope. And they work with Todrick Hall as one of their main artists, and they've worked with Brandy and Shaka Khan, and they just have, they won a Grammy already. So I'm really
Oh,
lucky
wow.
to,
That is a
yeah,
good cousin to have, and uh, congratulations to your cousin. That's really cool.
yeah. So it's like, wow, it all just kind of came together. It's like I have this cousin here and family here, and he's in the industry, and I'm, a singer, and we can collaborate, and it's family. And so California, it just kind of all lined up. I'm like, this is where I feel like I belong.
What is your what's your what's your writing process?
My writing process. Well, for this EP that I wrote, I actually started writing it during the pandemic. I kind of went through like a creative mad, like I went creatively mad. Like I just started creating. And so when I'm in that kind of mode, it's like things just start flowing for me. I could be outside walking my dog and something will come to me and I put it in my notes immediately so I don't forget it. Or I do a little recording on my phone. Things just start flowing to me. And before I know it, like I have a full song. It's like lyrics just kind of come to me as, as life happens and as
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing my everyday kind of routine. Like something will just pop in my head and I'm like, I got to write that down.
Um, Something just pops in your head, and you gotta write that down. I like that. The what is kind of your favorite thing about this journey of making it? What do you really like to do in all of this? What just really makes you happy?
I think like for me, I've had a lot of experience, like a lot of opportunities to perform, whether it be my own music or, doing a cover song for a wedding. And just getting the feedback from people after I perform, like, wow, that really touched me. Like, that really, like, I really appreciate that. I needed to hear that today. Your voice just really touched my heart. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us. Like, those kinds of words of affirmation, that really makes me feel good because I'm affecting others with my gifts. And, it's it's nice. It's nice to hear, and it's nice to see that people are impacted, and I'm making people feel good by doing something that I love.
Mm-hmm. What is where are we in the EP process? How far along are you?
So basically we have all of the songs recorded with piano, and it's just, an acoustic version. We still have to, mix and master it and kind of just talk about what we're going to do production wise with the songs, because there's some elements that I want to add to the songs. Um, but yeah, so everything's recorded. We're just finishing up everything. I am doing another song. As I said, I was doing my EP with my cousin with We Dope,
Mm-hmm.
but I am doing another song with another producer in LA. His name is Mario. I'm not sure if I'm going to add that to the EP or not. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but once that's done and everything is mixed and mastered and everything's where it needs to be, then I'll make that decision. And I'm hoping to release it in November at the latest. So,
Excellent. Oh, I just got your EP. I'm sorry, that little example that you sent me to play. Hang on a second, because now I have no idea where this is playing. Um, fantastic. The literally, I've got music in my ear, and I cannot figure out. Sounds beautiful, though. Hang on a second.
we're hanging. Hi, everyone.
Oh, I know what I can do. I can find it in my force quit. It's got to be that. Yep, it was Apple Music. Okay, now what I do with you on the screen, hang on. And I want to play a little snippet of that, but I will set that up while we are getting back to. Okay, where did. All right, hang on. Let's get back to HAPS and get back to our own program here.
Technical difficulties, people.
Yeah, somewhere I disconnected myself. I'm back. Hang on. Do not want the MacBook Pro microphone. Um, Hopefully you can hear me. We are definitely live on two different. That's crazy. Hang on a second. There we are. Hello.
Hello. You good?
Yeah, this is why I need a director, a producer over here. This is why we're trying to do that. I was having trouble for some reason downloading the song the first time, but it did download this time. So I've got it. And let's do this. Downloads. Now see if I can pull it over here this time. It does not want to load to the HAPS little system. Let me convert it to a different file. But I tell you what, why I'm futzing with this, do you want to sing something a cappella for us?
Sure.
Do you need to run around the block, warm up, or anything? I'm just
Um,
making you coldly.
all right. Well, one of the songs on my EP is called "Can't Handle," and so I guess I'll just sing a little bit of that.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to get a little bit of a taste of the future EP here. So I will take myself out and.
All right. Love's a ticking time bomb. Love's a fucking game. I spend my life playing, but never have I gained. You watch me as I crumble. You said I was the one, but little did I know that I was not the only one. Did you feel anything when I said I was done? Did you cry out the pain like I did? Or are you just numb? You never could love me in the way that I should have been loved. I was only there to fill your ego cup. And I should have known that you can't handle true love. No, 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 no. There you have
All
it.
right. Wow. Thank you. That was nice to get a taste of that song. Chris Gales, I like to call him Mr. Beale Street. He is in Memphis, and he just gave us a Super Heart Award. And
Aw.
I would imagine that Chris is gigging it out somewhere tonight. I would think on a Friday night. So, Chris, it is great to see you here. Really
Thank
exciting.
you. Thank you for the super heart. Right
the
back at you.
Let me see if I can find. I moved this over to the desktop, and let's see if it'll pull it in now. This must be a HAPS issue. So,
Do you want me to try to play it on my phone?
yeah, give me one more second, and we will. Let me see if I copy this. Let me open up one other browser real quick because I am actually using the Microsoft version of Chrome, and I've never run into a problem with HAPS yet, but it's possible that I am having a problem because I'm running that. So hang on one sec.
Alrighty.
Okay, I am on the other browser. Let's see if this will work real quick. If not, we'll find a solution like through your phone or something. But um, what what is it that um, is frustrating you about the business? I mean, it's fun, obviously, to talk about all the great things and everything. But I mean, in your journey, there's going to be a lot of people behind you, and this video will stay here long after you're huge and famous. And so, what makes this hard?
I think that when you're an independent artist, because I'm not signed or anything, you literally have to do everything by yourself, like for yourself. You have to find people to record with. You have to, find photographers. I record my own music. I do all my own videos. I do photo shoots for myself that I post on my Instagram, for content. And it's just a lot. And sometimes that can really take over the passion because sometimes it becomes more like a job, and it kind of like I would rather focus on, the writing parts, the singing parts, the playing piano parts, but unfortunately as an independent artist, as I said, you have to do everything else. So it can get exhausting at times.
I definitely know a bit about exhaustion and doing this entertainment stuff. I was burning the candle at both ends for quite a while. I had no choice, but it still caught up with me eventually, for sure. Um, who who kind of has inspired your musical journey? Who are the artists that you kind of look to?
I really love Amy Winehouse. I think she's just genius. She's got a timeless voice. Like she's untouchable. Um, I love Adele. I think that she's also got one of those voices that's very iconic. Um, I love Fiona Apple. She is a
Ah,
phenomenal writer.
mm-hmm.
She like I remember like her first album title, it helped me through so much struggle that I was going through in my life. Like the whole album I could relate to, and like the lyrics are so deep and well thought out, and it's not fluff. It's like deep
No,
deep stuff. And that's I've always been a huge fan of her. Um who else? Christina Aguilera, like, I loved her power behind her voice. Like I have a very belty voice, and
mm-hmm.
she always kind of, was somebody that I looked up to because she can really hit those notes and she has so much power behind her voice. So I had like always wanted to sing her songs and like have that power. And that kind of helped me to develop my voice too in that way as well.
I wow, Fiona Apple. It's pretty funny. When I was homeless, well, that's not funny, of course. The one of the things that I was, fortunate to have was
Uh-oh, we lost you. I don't know if y'all can hear him. I cannot. Technology, what can we do? Always will fail us.
crazy evenings. Here we are. You can hear me now, I hope.
Yes, you're back. Hi, we missed
Hi.
you.
Usually, when you can't hear me, it's my fault and I've muted it and I see the little pink thing, but trying to jump around there between browsers to get that music to play was just giving me fits. But you were saying,
We were
or did
talking
you
about
leave
Fiona
off?
Apple.
Oh yes, sorry. I
You
was
said
saying
when you were
Fiona Apple.
homeless.
When I was homeless, I was fortunate that my ex-wife continued to pay for my iPhone 3GS, I think, and I was able to listen to music. And gosh, Fiona Apple, it's the album that has the insanely long title that I can't remember uh, what that title is, but for a while, I think it held like it may be like the longest title for a certain kind of album. But again, her music is it's no holds barred. It's deep, it's honest, it's hard hitting, and obviously being homeless and everything, I was going through some pretty tough times, and I really appreciated her and her music for that honesty and everything that she put out there. I could relate so much in turn to what she was saying, and I think that's a pretty amazing ability to be able to write, considering I'm a 45-year-old white man, at that time, like, not identifying at all with, how she might identify. And that is the just the beautiful thing about great writing and good music. It's just it's universal, and
Mhm.
it is. I love all of those artists that you spoke to, but I don't know a lot of people that know Fiona Apple really well, and she's an amazing talent. You know, Ms. Apple, you're welcome to come on the show anytime you want. If she does, Rachel, I'll invite you to guest co-host.
That would be a dream. I would love that.
Well, we'll try. I tell all of my friends, tell me who your dream guests are, and I will. I will try. I will try because we get a little luckier all the time. So, I would. Fiona Apple is would be a major grab for us, though. So, yeah, that would be awesome. But
I mean,
I mean,
she lives
someday.
here.
What's that?
She lives here. She lives in Venice, so
Oh,
not
she
far
lives
from
in
me.
Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not like living behind some mansion in the Hollywood Hills. You might actually
Right.
see her once in a
Yeah.
while.
And I hear people do see her every once in a while.
That's
So,
really cool. That's really cool. I like that about New York, and I like that about LA. That you can see, people once in a while. Don't bother them, of course. Be a
right.
good citizen.
Don't be a fangirl or boy. Just,
Exactly. Oh man, I usually, with everybody that's on on here, you and I had a chance to talk before the show. So I got to know you a little bit and fanboy and compliment you and all that stuff, which is very, very
aw.
much valid. But I do usually end up fanboying on the show because I'm just in awe of people and their talent. And you got that taste of performing at a young age, and we talked about dance, but what was your first taste of performing music in public? What was that?
It was definitely with the church musicals. Um, Actually, can you hang on just one second? My dog is scratching at my door.
Oh, no problem. I
I
will do
don't.
a commercial. Hang on. All right, everybody.
What?
Look, here's what we need to do. I, if you're watching this on replay, you'll have a little time to Google Nura phone, NuraPhone. Now, these guys are not sponsoring me, but I am. I've got their Nuraphone headphones, and I also have their NeuraBuds earphones, and I'm trying them out. And the idea is, if I like them, and I do so far, I want to get them to be a sponsor on the program. So if you know anybody that uses this product, I would love to talk to them because I want to know what their impressions are. I certainly don't want to endorse something that isn't a great product, but I've looked into this company a little bit, and I want companies that I believe in their product to be who sponsors me, not just I love my Audio Technica headphones, and I've approached them, and we haven't done anything yet. But yeah, hopefully Nura will be it. But in the meantime, remember Scooch Case, Scooch SCOOCH case.com. Buy a great phone case. Looks like Rachel is back,
I'm back.
and your 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 travel buddy, your friend from home, your little dog. It's nice to have, and we got to keep them. Aw, there we go.
Here she is.
Oh, she's very cute. Is that a some kind of little terrier?
Yep, she's a Yorkie.
That's what I thought.
This is
Yeah.
Lily.
Hey,
All right,
Lily.
Lil. Off you go.
um, what do you think? Huh, what do you think your big break's going to be?
Hmm. Honestly, I haven't really thought about that much. I don't know. I never really thought about becoming someone really famous. Like I just never really thought about that. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I try to just keep my head in, like, I'm doing this because songwriting is a passion of mine, and I'm going to keep doing it because I love to do it. And if somebody happens to, I don't know, hear me on Instagram or on TikTok, who can discover me, who's in high places, that's awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like not something that I'm like banking on or really, of course it would be nice, but it's not like something that I absolutely
Right, right. Well,
need,
I think my personal opinion would be that, hang on, is that clip? Ooh, that clip did move into DaVinci. So let me just output this clip real quick with Davinci Resolve, and I think we're going to be able to play this. Let's just go over to export real quick export, and I'll just give you the play-by-play, folks, because I can't click and not. Where did it give it to me? Come on now, export. And okay, well, if you're just going to be that way, just be that way tonight. I don't know why nobody wants to cooperate with me software wise. So I'll give it another shot. Um, I think the reason I asked that question is there's a whole group of singer songwriters out there that I've met over the last 6-8 months that are out there every day, from Georgia Furrows to Kristen Ford and Chris Angeles and Sarah Lightman and just so many other singer songwriters that I have met that are just booking their gigs, like you said, booking the studio time, hiring the producer, doing their branding, do all of these things, and are hustling really hard. And I think that it's very interesting that they have all really carved out a nice, and I don't know what their incomes are, but some of them are surviving at least on their music, which is hard to do. I mean, most
Mhm.
people don't even do that, let alone get famous. But the thing that I've really observed, and I like that, I think you can, not for me to tell you what to do, but you can imagine being a famous person once in a while. I think you've got a great voice. So, feel free to do that if you want. But I like the idea of if somebody's pursuing a dream, I'm 100% for you to pursue that dream. My experience in starting to kind of achieve this dream later in life in what I'm doing right now, I really have been putting a lot of plan Bs together based on where this is going because I want this to be big and I want us to do great things, but I also know that there's a space in here for me to just make a good living and have fun. And I have a friend, Nick Tremulous, who had one hit in the 80s. The guy gigs out. Well, he's shit. If I'm 55, he's pushing close to 70 probably. But he gigs out still a bit. Owns a really nice house in a nice suburb. I would just guess he's making a couple $100,000 a year for quite a few years, and most people don't know who Nick Tremulous is and never will, but he makes a good
Mhm.
living. He's a professional working musician, and there's a that can be done. You know what I mean? Like you don't ever need to get signed. It'd be great to get signed, but I mean, you don't ever need to get signed anymore to make yourself a great career. And it sounds like with everything that we've been talking about, from you're understanding musical theory and even the sound check and everything that we were doing, you've got a good understanding of it. So I think I can see I can see you just from a business model perspective. I think you're in really, in good shape. I mean, I think that's something to be thought about to pursue. I would imagine. Have you thought about that?
Like as a business aspect? What do you mean?
Yeah, of just kind of creating, a day to day good living out of music as well.
Yeah, I thought about it. I honestly do have a backup plan. I actually have my master's in education, applied
Oh,
behavior
nice.
now. Yeah, applied behavior analysis. So I work with children with disabilities in schools for my day job. And
Okay.
luckily for me, I got a job here in California and it's remote. So, that's
Ah.
great. Um, I can do things on the side when need be, like for music or anything else creative. Um, but as far as doing it as a just music, as a job, as a profession,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, I don't know. I think I've just always had a plan B. So I've never really had to, think about it because, I went to college and got my degree and I knew that I wanted a plan B, especially moving out here. It's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to struggle, so that's why I spent all those years in school.
Well, I would imagine, not, you know, knowing your parents, but being a parent, that your parents are probably pretty happy that you got that degree and everything. I'm sure they support everything you're doing, but they're like, hey, you've got that to fall back on.
Exactly. Yeah, education's really important to my family. My dad's a PhD chemical engineer, so, he worked very hard in his education. And
Mm-hmm.
fun fact about Midland, it's actually the birthplace of Dow Chemical Company. So, that's where a lot of people work. That's where my parents both worked.
Sure.
So,
Did they
yeah,
meet there?
they actually met at a singles Bible study.
Oh, all right. There you go.
And
That's the way
they're
you do it. That's better than Tinder.
right? Wholesome. Yeah.
Didn't swipe right on Tinder. The I remember when I remember when people were like, "How'd you meet?" At the grocery store, but it's like, okay, technically we met online, but don't tell anybody. And now people are like, "Oh yeah, I met somebody at the grocery store." They're like, "Really? Really? You can meet people that way?" "Oh yeah, you can. You just talk to them."
Right.
What do you like about? We talked about this a little bit too before the show. Um, how is it? Do you like tooting your own horn? Is it hard to promote yourself, or what's that feel like?
It can be hard sometimes. It's kind of hard because sometimes you really have to think about how you want yourself to be presented. I've just come to the conclusion that, this is who I am, this is me. People are either going to love me or hate me. They're going to either want to listen to my music or not listen to my music. And they're either going to want to follow me or not follow me. But that's just, I mean, life is too short to just be worried about what other people think about you, I feel like. So you just have to be yourself and your tribe will come.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the mentality I've had. And I think that in the past, I did not have that mentality. So I was really stressed out about everything. And, I've been through a lot in my life since then and had some awakenings and, just realized that it doesn't really matter what people think about you. Just be who you are, and the people who are meant to be in your life will be there with you. Period.
Well, those are very salient words. The biggest thing when I talk to other broadcasters, other live streamers, I think that I get from anybody is just be yourself, because people are, they're either going to like it or they don't. But trying to be somebody that you're not is not gonna it's not gonna put you in a great place to get people to, I think, enjoy what you're doing. You just got to do your thing, and definitely do that. I'm going to do that too.
Take a hit, man. Take a hit.
Um, the Where are you? I know this is a little bit off of music, but it's such a music is such a I mean, I think that there's this question of, did we sing before we talked, right? Like, I've got to think that, proto humans to humans, about 1.2 million years or whatever, somewhere along that path, I think that music must have evolved before even specific language, with words and things like that. I mean, there's this natural kind of rhythm and energy, I think, to people. And I'm deeply spiritual, but I'm also very evidence based. Like, I am a little weird in that I see spirituality as being kind of, it's embedded in us through evolution,
Mhm.
for various reasons. We have a predisposition. We're predisposed to be spiritual, not religious, not filled in, but spiritual. And so I really enjoy my spirituality, although I see it as not something mystical, but something still magical because it feels great. But like that spirit you were talking about, doing things at church, and I think, I really like, your personality and your style and your passion. That that spiritual aspect of your music. How does that play into what you're writing, what you're presenting to the audience?
I think that, like, separately, the spirituality for me, I for me, I when I'm in nature, I really feel grounded, and I feel like can feel the universe, like, surrounding me through the wind, hear it through the birds, and um that's when I'm most calm, like my mind is most calm and there to write the songs that I write, because it
Hmm.
comes from within me. It comes from within my soul, within my heart. And sometimes in life, when you're, doing the day to day, like, your mind is just busy, 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 busy. But when I'm in that meditation kind of state and I'm in nature, that's when I can calm down. And that's when the lyrics that are the deepest to my soul emerge.
I like that. That's when the lyrics that are the deepest to my soul emerge. Those are beautiful words. And nature. We just took a nice little semi crazy, semi disastrous camping trip, but that was a lot of fun. And we were in nature a bit over the weekend, and I definitely can identify with that kind of magical feeling of nature. But the I have been a professional photographer for a long time, and I definitely feel like I'm a creative being. I think whether you're a painter or a singer or a photographer or um, a potter, whatever you do creatively, a musician, I'm always in awe of what other people's talent is. Right? Like, I can sing, but I'm I must be like, I don't have perfect pitch by any means. So um, I can sing. I've got a nice voice, but I'm not a singer. So I really am always just love the magic of what people can do in their particular, chosen field of creativity. We were talking a little bit about it earlier, about, photography, and I think you've got a great eye. You
Thank
were talking
you.
about taking your pictures and all of these things. And that you talked about doing your own music videos and that kind of stuff. That whole package, I think, makes a difference in being able to be, successful. Just learning about marketing and stuff. It's tough. This is a tough business.
Right. Yeah, I think that it's just something that comes naturally to me to do all the content creating. I'm actually adopted, so my biological mother, I found out she was an art major and she did like graphic design and things like that. So I feel like it's in my blood.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So it's something that I really enjoy doing, and it comes naturally to me. Like when I'm out and I'm just walking around in nature, taking my dog for a walk, I see things and then I have to capture it. and then I use that as content, and it's just fun for me.
Yeah, that is. It's just fun for me. For goodness sake. Man, I sound like a '50s teenager there. Um,
For goodness sake.
yeah, the being able to do what you love. Not very many people get to do that, and I feel like obligated personally to use whatever measure of success I've had to try to bring opportunity, to other people. I have. I mean, we've been involved in nonprofit, and I've been an activist, and and an artist and everything for a really long time. But the that feeling that creating evokes from us is something that is just absolutely beautiful. And I'm slightly stoned, so I now can't remember what my point was going to be. But
Oh.
that does
Here we
happen on
go.
a Friday night sometimes.
That's all right. It happens every Friday for me, so
Yeah, right.
no
Well,
judging here.
but yeah, let's talk about this a little bit too, because I really like one of the things that when I reached out to you and we started to, because I, heard you sing. I don't just, pick people and, come on my show. Like I'd listened to your singing and heard your voice and everything. And when you talked about, because we talked to each other a few months ago, and you're moving out to LA, and let's connect up after I've been out here a little while. But the just this whole thing, there are other people that are going to make this journey too. So, what's it been like trying to find friends and meet new people and trying to do all this stuff? Um, did I put you on the spot too
Well,
much?
you know, I've met some people here and there, which has been great. I actually have met people through people who I know who knew that I was moving to LA. They're like, "Oh, I know so and so. They're also moving. You guys should link up," which is nice, to you, have that kind of set up before
Mm-hmm.
you move out to a big city. Um, but I've been on the dating apps. I've been on
Ah.
Bumble. I've been on a couple dates. I've met some people here and there. I've been to different events in the city and met some people. You just kind of have to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some days it's like, oh, I don't want to get dressed up. I don't want to go out. Then I have to find parking. Then I have to pay for parking. Then I have to, do this, do that. And it can be a hassle at times, but
Mm-hmm.
it's worth it to get out there and meet people, especially when you first move somewhere like a big city. You really want to, if you want friends, you got to go find them. So
Right.
um, that's been interesting. I think that as I said, I had a lot of connections that I had already made before I even moved to LA via Instagram. People just found me on Instagram,
Oh,
like
sure.
different creative people, um, producers, photographers. So I already had stuff set up before I even came out here. So the first month here was a whirlwind. Like I had photo shoots and studio sessions and meeting this person, meeting that person. And I barely had time to really ground myself here in this environment because it is like it's culture shock, because
Yeah.
it's totally different from where I came from.
Mm.
Um,
It's totally different from Chicago, and we're similar sized cities, but
oh yeah, it's totally different from Chicago. Totally different. Um, it's a whole other world here in LA. I call it the
mm-hmm.
jungle. Um, but yeah, so I really didn't have a lot of time to really ground myself and really get used to my surroundings because I was just busy meeting this person, meeting that person, doing this, doing that. But when I finally had that time to just relax and take a drive on the PCH by myself and go to the beach by myself and just really like get more comfortable with where I was, everything started like it feels like things are starting to gel more and I'm starting to feel more in control of my life. It was like a tornado when I first moved here. It really was like
Mm-hmm.
moving in and then the next week you have to meet with all these people and it was just you couldn't get a breather, I needed a
Right,
breather.
right, right. Well, I think that was about the time that I first reached out to you, and you were kind of like, yeah, I just need to, figure stuff out for a couple of months. You
Yeah.
were very, I liked that, that you were just, that was the point I was getting to too before the marijuana decided to disassociate that from my brain. I like that you're still early in your journey. Don't get me wrong, you've been working a long time, but I mean the move to LA and all of this, because I really like this idea for what we do on this program is for people to kind of get a slice of um, you know Malik Yusuf, the Hollywood producer that I've become friends with, that's was on the show, and Malik is amazing, and has, I hope to get him back here. He has so much to give and share, and he's just an incredible poet, and just a really great guy. Um, and and you've got your story and your beginning, and it's just as exciting to me to get to know you as it is somebody like Malik, because you're in the beginning of the process, and you're driven, and someday as you advance, I'm going to be able to look back at this and remember that we were able to help to start to tell this story. So I'm hoping that I'm not buttering you up too much, but just enough that you'll say yes when the EP comes out, and we can do a little bit of a launch thing, somewhere around the time. Doesn't have to be launch day, but somewhere around that time, I'd love to be able to have you back on and premiere that, at least, to the live streaming world.
I would love to do that. Absolutely.
That'll be fantastic, because I'm always told, don't do that. Don't tell somebody, don't ask somebody to do something live, because how can they say no? Like, you couldn't say, like, there was no way you're going to say no. But
Don't know
when
me
we're
though. You don't know me.
well, no, that's true. No, well, that's what other people say, not what I'm saying about you. But they're like, Revolution, that's not fair. They have to say yes. I'm like, I know, that's why I do it. No, but I'm just kidding. And you feel free to say no. But I just think that would be exciting to be able to do that. And I really um, hope we get to know each other, with the audience on your journey, because I think it's an exciting journey, and I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it literally was, a blank slate when I started. Actually, like, okay, this is kind of annoying, but I hate to share this because it sounds like I'm just kind of petty when it comes to
No.
social media, but my Instagram actually got hacked, my old Instagram. And so I lost a lot. I lost a lot of content. I lost a
Mm.
lot of my following. So I literally had to start from scratch. And I think that was a sign from the universe to say, this is a new journey and a new chapter for you. You're moving to a new city. You're starting something new. So, it's time to release some of those, past things in your life and
Hmm.
start from scratch and start anew. So, that's where I'm at now, just starting from scratch and starting a new journey.
Well, I think you're on a good path. I mean, the I meet a lot of people in this work, and have met a lot of interesting people over the course of my life. And I have tend to find that the people that are a little more grounded, um, like you, a little more organized, if you can put that with creativity, man, that works out well.
Mhm.
My ADD bipolar brain, needs a team of people just to keep me on track, to do the fun stuff. So I just think that you've got a lot going on, and a lot of good going on, and I really look forward to seeing you just continue to shine out there. And I'm
Thank you.
I'm I'm very, very much honored to get the chance to have you on the program.
I am very honored to be here. Like, this is great. Like, I feel like since you reached out to me, I'm like, when am I going to do this? When am I going to have time to do this? And then now we're doing it. So I'm glad that
Yeah, and
we figured it out.
I think the the energy and the fun around your launch, I'm just looking so forward to that for you, because I've seen a few people do that, recently, and um to to talk about. This makes me think about EPs. Um, was talking to Georgia Feroce about this the other day because she's releasing her whole album now, one song at a time, more or less. I don't know. She's got 12 songs on this album, so it's actually pretty long by today's standards, but it has to do with the signs of the zodiac. But the EP, that kind of seems to be the thing now, right? Longer, even eight song albums have kind of started to disappear. Do you does the EP have an overall theme, or is each song kind of an individual? And only share as much as you want to. Obviously, we don't want to spoil any surprises.
The EP is definitely a love song collection, well, I would say love and loss.
Okay,
There's some songs on there that are, love songs, and then there's some songs on there, like I shared earlier, love's a ticking time bomb, love's a fucking game. There's songs on there that are lost, love that has been lost. So I think it's a good collection of both positive and negative aspects of being in love, being in relationship, and situationships.
right. I
Yeah.
like that. I tease my friend Chris Angeles a lot because, oh my gosh, she writes like the most gut wrenching, you know, love songs, of the lost love and all of that. She writes a lot of fun songs too, but I mean, like, just tears your soul apart. Her songs are so good. And I'm like, I just hope that you have like a husband and 6 kids that you just don't tell us about, and you're making all that shit up, because if you actually go through that shit and write those songs, my God, how can I help you? It is horrible. But there's
Hmm.
nothing like a good breakup to write a good song about.
I will say I haven't very I really have I can't even talk, my weed's kicking in. I haven't been very successful when it comes to relationships and love.
Ah,
So, there's a lot of material.
I like that. All right. Yeah, there's blank and blank. Oh, yeah, and that. Oh, wow. I love that. Yeah. No, that's what like, singer songwriters, and um it's a really kind of a neat place to be in music, because like I've got connections now with hip hop and rap folks, and it's much harder to kind of um get those folks on the show and not have to have some kind of big production to get them to sing or whatever, right? So, singer songwriters, you've got a piano, you've got a guitar or something, you can sing a cappella and all these things. So it's kind of very accessible for me, and it's just a really great way to tell a story. I mean, not that 34, 35 Ariana Grande is a sounds like a very fun time and an interesting story, but that the story of love and loss, singer songwriters, they do it really well. It's so from the heart. So I wish you the most successful of relationships someday, but
Someday.
get a few albums out.
Right. I just need more material. So, I need to
Yeah,
be
well,
single and heartbroken just a few more times. So,
start dating bad people, you know what I mean?
well,
Like bad girls,
they,
bad boys, whatever. Um
they tend to flock to me. So that's not an issue. Oh,
yes, I
can I actually share my song on my phone? I don't know if it'll
please
probably work.
do. Yeah, I don't know what. Please do.
So this song that I wrote, I actually wrote it a few years ago for my friend's wedding. Um, so it's not about me, and it's actually a very positive song about love. Um, I performed it at her wedding, and her dad played guitar. I played piano and sang, and her dad played guitar. So it was very special. It's called Completely Complete. I have it on my SoundCloud as a demo, but the finished version for the EP is completely different. We rearranged things, and it's completely different. It's a lot better in my opinion. But
Hey, sorry. Let me ask you real quick. If you have that SoundCloud link, I might be able to make it play and stream it. So yeah, let me.
true. That's the
Yeah.
old version though.
Oh, well, play this one then. We're fine.
Okay.
Hey, Willie, good to see you. I'm going to take myself out and mute myself and give this a listen. So take it away, Rachel.
All right. I wanna be the one who loves you, loves you through thick and thin. I wanna be the one who's standing with you till the very end, because you're my best friend. Spin me around, lift my feet off the ground, 'cause you've got me so high, I don't wanna come down. You've captured my heart, made me feel so alive. You've got that something unique, that something that makes me weak and completely complete. Completely complete. That's all I'll play for now. But yeah, that's completely complete. It's going to be on my EP. As I said, wrote it for my friend's wedding. And yeah, it's a positive love song.
Well, I was kidding you in the boy, I drove some bass into my ear there to hear that. Um, First of all, it was on your cell phone and it sounded great. Your the hang on, the your tone. There's another word that describes vocal quality and characteristics that's not coming into my head, but that the tone and character of your voice and that richness of it, I'm feeling it through a cell phone squeezed through the internet and pumped out, through my headphones, through 27 pieces of gear. And your voice sounded beautiful, Rachel. And I'm really looking forward to hearing to that EP. Just an absolutely lovely voice.
Thank you.
I know it's like, hey,
Always
what do
get
you want
so
me to say?
bashful. I'm
Uh,
like, thanks.
right. But what you can say, and I'm going to attribute this one to a lot of people, but I'm going to attribute this one to Malik, actually, because he's really been good about this with me, is yeah, you're fucking awesome. And it's okay to tell people. It really
awesome.
is. You can show them with your music, but once in a while, yeah, it's fucking true. I am fucking awesome. And and yeah, and I'll toot your horn for you too. That's just lovely. And thank you, Willie, for your compliment there. I imagine that is probably to Rachel, and she's thanking you. That is great. What's the next album? What's kicking in your head? Like are you feeling that one yet?
So you're saying like
Well, the
after this
next, yeah.
EP?
Like, what do you feel like your next project's going to be? Is that stirring around, or do you got to finish this one first?
Definitely want to finish this one. I think I want to really take my time to promote this EP. So,
Mm-hmm.
I might hold off for a little bit before I release anything else. I mean, if I do write a song and I want to do a single and release it as a single, which is actually something that a lot of singer-songwriters, artists are doing, they're releasing
Right.
singles these days.
Yeah.
So if I do end up writing something else, then I will definitely release it if I want to. But as far as doing an entire album, it hasn't really crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to release the EP, that's going to be 4 songs, and then let's say I do a couple singles, people can make it a playlist, and there's an album, you know.
Right. Right. Well, no, it has changed. It has changed a lot. Singles being released is very common and popular. I think Christy Huff, who's a country western singer and country western. Wow, I really am old. The country star in her own right. She just had like she's broken over 1 million downloads on maybe 3 records right now, and
Oh
she's
wow.
starting to open for bigger bands and stuff. So that is you know, that's dropping singles. You know what I mean? She's not necessarily putting out EPs and stuff. She's just dropping singles, and they've been going. But promoting it and giving yourself a fair amount of time. The thing that I love too about singer songwriters, especially when we're talking about music that is more in a tends to be more timeless because there is a lot of heartbreak and love, in these in that genre of music, and it lasts like, you know one of your
Mhm.
songs, it might not catch a break for 3 years, but it's likely that it'll still be fresh and relevant to a new ear 3 years from now, too. So I do like to tell people as I'm on this journey and making these observations that don't give up on an old song because people, you know, just might not have heard it yet.
Right, right.
Yeah, there's a lot of material for folks out there that people would still enjoy. So that is definitely some other things. What in your beginning part of the process of doing this, what would you kind of let people know um, to watch out for, or what might you try to do a little different or something?
Um, I would say just look at the process as something that, like, don't forget why you're doing it. Don't forget why you're creating, why you're doing this process, because a lot of the time it can turn into something that's stressful, or a chore, and you lose the passion behind it. This is actually advice that I've gotten a lot lately, um, is to not lose that passion behind your art, behind your music. It can get overwhelming at times when you're thinking about, well, how am I going to promote it? How am I going to get it out? Like all this, all that. And you lose that passion behind it. You lose the reasons as to why you're doing it in the first place. And you lose the heart behind it because you're just in your head. You're not in your
Mm-hmm.
heart. You're in your head about things. And I just think that really just take a deep breath, relax. Like, as far as deadlines go, as an independent artist, it's like you make your own deadlines. It doesn't have to be like I said, I want the EP out in no later than November. If it's not, then I'm not it's not the end of the world, it's still part of the creative process. It just means that the journey to making the art is not complete, and maybe it will take more time, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah,
don't
I
rush things.
what's that?
There's really no rush in these kinds of things. If you're an independent artist, it's like, yes, you might have a deadline, but as I said, don't stress about it if you don't make that deadline, because that just means that you need to take more time to finesse your art, and that's okay.
Well, you and Kanye lately, with his multiple listening partners and pushing back his album date. Um, I'm just teasing a little bit about his process, and the idea of being staying enthused about the work, because it doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter who you are, what level you are. uh, the audience knows when you're not into it, um, instantly. And so it can be really hard. I have had, I do have bipolar. I do still sometimes struggle with depression, and have struggled with depression as of late a bit. I have been doing a lot behind the scenes of this work that I've been doing, and have not been on the air as much as I would like to. We're gearing up for a big September here, and I'm very excited. And you kind of have helped launch us do that here towards the end of August. But yeah, taking care of yourself, um, really watching out for your mental health and wellness. It's not always the case with creative people, but I I think in my anecdotal life experience, most creative people I know are also pretty empathetic. Not that all of us aren't, but that we wear our emotions. Our emotions are can weigh on us a lot, and so just taking care of your mental and your physical, and if applicable, your spiritual self is is huge, because people
Absolutely.
know.
I'm definitely, I absorb a lot of people's energies and emotions. I'm an empath. So, something that people don't know about me, some people know because I was doing it on Instagram for a little bit. I am a tarot reader, so I actually do it professionally on the side. So, I use that empathy and my spiritual gifts to help others, and that helps me in return,
Hmm.
to raise my vibration and to feel at my best when I'm helping others. So, for me, that's part of my mental health routine.
And that is definitely something that, for people to sometimes, when you're it's always so hard to not, anyway, sorry, that
It's okay.
feeling that empathy, uh, you know through other people, can be kind of a tough thing at times to handle, but that you have a strategy that helps you, and that strategy, involves a gift or a talent that you have. People need to remember that, first, that it's okay to not take on something that you can't take on, and then secondly, um, there's great value to doing things, for other people. Don't get so locked in and isolated into what you're doing that you're avoiding doing things for other people, because I'll be honest, um, sometimes it's in the doing for other people that just get me through the day. So yeah, I think that's beautiful sentiment. And I oh, sorry, I'm just laughing about uh, the future love affairs and everything you're going to have to write your music. That just keeps flowing through my head. So,
I mean,
just make sure that you're
I
you're swiping right for the right reasons.
I mean, I've already broken hearts here and I've not even been here for a month and a half. So,
I
it's
love it.
already begun. It's already begun. They've already found
Awesome.
me.
You got to have those future hits available.
Yep.
Um, who's um, oh, interesting. What do you listen? Do you use Spotify? Do you use any of those services?
I love Apple Music.
Okay.
I have it connected, synced to my Alexa. So
Oh, I
Alexa will
do. I
play.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say, Alexa, play my music. Rachel's Station on Apple Music.
I
So, you know,
yes.
Apple Music's really a good, like, it's really easy to navigate, and, like, I love how they show the lyrics to songs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I do use Spotify from time to time. A lot of my friends will send me music that they find and they like through Spotify, but yeah, I mainly use Apple. I have, like, all Apple products too. I'm an Apple girl, so
I was just going to say I was looking to see what my last song that I played, and I use Spotify primarily, but I have Apple Music too. But I was curious if you know what the last song you played in your phone. Mine is "Kiss Me More" Doja Cat. Are you all shocked? And that is with SZA. So I bet there's a lot of people who are surprised. I love hip hop and rap, and I've been listening to pop music since I was 10 years old. I've always stayed current with pop music.
So my last song was "Shallow" by Lady Gaga. It's actually the
Oh,
song that I covered recently on my Instagram.
nice. Well, everybody should look for that. And you are what is your Instagram on? Let's see.
Should
Let
I
me type
type
it
it
in
in?
there.
Oh. It is Rachel AO .official.
There we
That's
go.
also my
And
TikTok as well.
that's TikTok as well.
hmm
All right.
I actually need to take a short little break. My dog is whining. She needs to go pee. So before she pees on my rug, I need to take her out
Just
real
go
quick.
take care of that. We don't want any accidents.
No accidents. I'll be right back.
See you in a second. All right. I am looking through here, and we've got on Instagram and TikTok. Is back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Your dreams and your. All right. Now let's pop in her. This is her flow page. That'll get you to her music that she has up, and that will that should be clickable. I'm seeing an underline under there, so that should be clickable. Just click on the, if you're watching this on replay, just click on the link, click on the box, the chat box, click on the link again, and it should take you right to it. The guests that we have coming up in the month of September have been growing. I'm very excited to say we have Vanya Renee, who is an LA based comedian and very funny. I I love comedians. Like they're how do I say it? I want to be nice. I'm not trying not to be nice, but they are. They usually are. They're like, it's not the right word, but let's just say they're progressive. I don't know what I actually am trying to say here is that comedians, you know what? Comedians tend to be very blunt, pretty straightforward in when you're just hanging out with them. Obviously, when they're doing their show, when they're doing their bit, that can be a big part of their comedy. But just what I like about Vanya Renee is just that, it's just there. It's gritty. It's real. It's funny. And she's very fun. So that should be a really good time. And we have also some folks coming up in the month of September that are in the film industry, in entertainment. We have a couple of, besides Dr. Hooper, I think, who we will hopefully see in September. I've got a couple of other connections with some cosmologists, some scientists. We're putting dates to book together there. We're really doing a lot on, as of late, literally the last few days. We have been doing a lot of coverage on Afghanistan with some just amazing uh, political analysts and experts on the Middle East and Russia. We have got Scott Lucas, and we have Monica. How does she say her last name? And Olga Lautman, Monique, not Monica. I'm sorry. We have Monique, and is it? I can't quite remember how to pronounce it, but we have had just a lot of great conversations. We had Marianne Duke Ocon on today, and it actually got us on program of the week on Haps because she just gave us an amazing analysis of her home country of Nigeria, and she is um, one of the premier broadcasters on the continent, honestly, of Africa, and hopefully the rest of the world will know her soon more. Maybe here in the United States, if we get lucky. Hey, Daniel, I see the dog has been watered, so to speak, and you are back.
I'm back. Yes, she went out and did her thing. I have snacks now though. It's the weed. This is like the perfect.
Ooh, now that is one of the things I like about this strain um, of this is Candy Jack. I think doesn't give me the munchies. You should get Gina Brill on. She does stand up comic. Okay, well I'll look into her. And Daniel, how's it going, my friend? Great to see you. Um,
Hello, Daniel.
the
Daniel.
wait, you got peanut butter and what?
Peanut butter and pretzels.
Ooh, that is a favorite around here. Peanut butter and pretzels. Those go
It's a
well.
good munchie snack.
Yes, yes, and not too high in calories. Nice little bit of protein for
Mm-hmm.
you. So there you go. Munchies on a Friday, smoking weed. Hey, let's do something since you seem to be feeling pretty groovy. I'm feeling pretty groovy.
I'm feeling pretty
Um,
groovy.
let's. What's that?
I said I am feeling pretty groovy.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling groovy. Let's not talk about music.
Okay.
Let's talk about something else. What do you want to talk about? You got any ideas?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I would stay away from politics because you're an entertainer,
Yeah,
and that you know
let's
sometimes as it relates to audiences, though. Um, I think I do want to talk. I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about um, the difference that it feels like from Midland, Michigan to LA, kind of as it relates to being a black woman. You know what I mean? A little bit of race there. We don't have to go too deep into it, but it's probably a pretty big change.
definitely a big change.
Oh,
Oh, somebody.
Daniel loves the music there.
I didn't know I had a Spotify. Is that bad?
Hopefully, it's the
it's
right
probably
Rachel.
just it's probably just the one that I listen to music on. It's not like my music. But I will
Ah,
have one with my music, so don't worry. Anyway. uh growing up in Midland was pretty difficult. I was the only black person in my grade for most grades. There might have been like two others maybe. But I went to a elementary school that was Christian. It was Lutheran, so it was, Christian.
mm-hmm,
Um and there weren't a lot of black kids. It was me, my brother, and like two other black kids. And I remember like being teased, and kids didn't want to play with me because they're like, "Oh, you're dirty." And my mom actually saw me in the bathroom as a child, like with a washcloth, rubbing my skin. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't want to be this color anymore." And it's just, I faced a lot of racism at a very young age. And it's like I didn't really understand why people didn't want to play with me or why people were treating me that way. I didn't understand it as it being racism. So I put it all on myself. I'm like, it must be me. It must be something about me, like personally, that makes people not want to play with me. And so it's kind of like went through life with that mentality, just putting myself down because people were racist towards me, and I didn't realize it was, racism. It had nothing to do with my personality or who I was as an individual internally. It was all very external. And just growing up in a very Midland's pretty conservative and not very diverse. I faced a lot of microaggressions growing up in the schools. We did eventually go to public school, and even there, I still faced racism from my peers and even people of authority as well. Not only racism, but I was sexually harassed by people of
Mm.
authority, and when I complained, like nothing ever happened. And I was also called the N word in one of my classes by um, one of the substitute teachers, and when I went and complained, they're like, "Oh, he's been a substitute for years. I'm sure he didn't mean it." Like, it was not a priority for them to protect me as a child, as an institution. So all of that stuff kind of I had to deal with on my own. And I guess that really ties into my writing and where that came from. I've been writing poetry since I was very young because that was like my outlet. I felt like I didn't have anyone that I could talk to about my struggles and my pain that I was facing. So I would write, and I would write poems and songs. And yeah, it was rough, it was a rough environment to grow up in. And over the years, I really had to work hard at putting myself back into those dark places to heal those parts of myself and to understand that the things that happened to me with the racism, it was not about my character. It was not about who I was internally. It was solely based on the color of my skin. And I've learned to love and accept myself for who I am, every flaw, every melanin tint. And it took a lot of time to do that, but it's a journey, and there are days still that, I feel those that darkness come on again, but then I have to just remind myself like it's okay. You're great. Like pump myself up a little bit because those kinds of things they really stick with you when people are putting you down for something that you can't help. It's just the way that you were born. It's how you look. So,
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that with us because um, sharing stories of personal experience like that, I think it does help people kind of understand. Although obviously people of color are not obligated to teach us anything, it is nice to have that space that we can talk about that a little bit here. It's something that I try to do, as best I can, and I appreciate you answering that. And when you were talking about it as even, drives your poetry, drives your music. Um, I think that I think that's something important about you that we got to discover that is interesting because it's not just love, it's not just heartbreak. There's a whole package of Rachel that is in your music.
I
The
agree.
Oh, and not that I want to jump away from the subject, but before I forget, so Rachel AO, tell me what do we look at? What does that mean there?
So my dad is from Ghana, West Africa. So my last name is Atiemo Obeng. And growing up, people just called us the Aos, the Ao family, Rachel Ao, Linda Ao, Chris Ao, Victor Ao. So I kind of, I'm like, why
It's
don't
kind of
I
like
stick with
your
it?
last name, your
Yeah,
nickname last name.
exactly. And
I like
it's,
that.
people slaughter our last name. So it's like, if I had Rachel Atiamo Obeng, it would be Rachel Atiambo, Rachel Ananang. Like people are just like the way that they
Right.
slaughter the name. It's it's pretty funny, but so I just decided to be simple and keep Rachel Ao.
I like that. Well, it's, you got to have a little, I mean, if your name is Sally Jones and you want to be a musician, you're probably going to mix it up a little bit. So it's nice that you had that little bit of, you know, friends already kind of doing that for you. So Rachel Io,
Hmm.
that's nice and unique. I like that. The 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 LA, just touch on a little bit. You don't have to go too deep. You haven't been there too long, and I know it's a can be a tough subject to have to talk with. But does LA just, you don't even have to get into racism in specific, but just the people and everything. Like it's got to feel a lot different than Midland, Michigan.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Even well, I moved from Ann Arbor,
Oh, that's right.
um, which they say it's diverse, but it's because of the college, because of U of M, University of Michigan.
Hmm.
It's not really diverse in the way that you would see like a city like LA. Um, so I feel like LA is definitely a really diverse environment. Where I live, my neighborhood is very diverse. It's a lot of like families, working young adults, singles. Like it's just very diverse in that aspect as well as racial. We have blacks, we have Hispanics, we have white people, we have Asian people. Like I walk my dog up and down these streets every day and we meet someone new every day and it's somebody of a different race. Like it's really cool, it's like a melting pot and that's what I like. So
Yeah, there
that's
must be
definitely.
hundreds of languages spoken in LA.
Oh yeah, hundreds, 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 hundreds. Um I would say that there are some areas where I felt the segregation between, black and white um, neighborhoods. But overall, like, I don't really feel like that thick racism here as I felt in the places I grew up in. Um, I have not experienced it yet here. I'm
Hmm.
sure, like, obviously it's here, but it's something that on the day to day I don't run into. I feel like people look at me differently here because they're used to seeing people of color because this is a
Hmm.
diverse environment. They're not looking at me like, "Oh, she's black." They're looking at me like, "Oh, she's a girl." Like, it's different and it's a good feeling. You don't feel
Mm.
like you're being because I can feel people's energies really easily. I can feel when people are, giving me the evil eye, for instance. And I feel like I don't really get that here at all
Hmm.
from people, and it's
Well,
great.
I mean, you know, it's a very um, middle-aged male kind of thing. But if anybody gives you that evil eye and you can't get a hold of your dad to take care of him, will you just let me know?
I will.
Yeah, I. It's hard for me to let go of a lot of these things. I have the 18-year-old daughter. I told you is going to school in Manhattan, and I'm just like, yeah, just please be very careful and just don't tell me anything. You know what I mean? Just like, I don't want to hop on a plane every time. I think I need to go save my daughter because she'll be fine. But the yeah, I mean, I really appreciate, you're sharing that. There are many things that we need to take care of in this world, and we have a long, long, long way to go. But
Mhm.
that there are places like the Midlands and like the LAs, and things can improve. Um, I do, I do like to know that is happening, and this is a big, the work that I do with Become, the nonprofit that I have helped my friend Dr. Dominica McBride start about it's 8 years now. I guess we're going on 9. Has to do with racial equity and social justice. So I've been involved in the work for a long time, and appreciate those insights about that and how you are uh, affected by those things, because I think it's just really important for people to understand um, people's,
Absolutely.
how yeah, what people, how they feel, and all of that. I I definitely love New York. Spent a lot of time in New York, lived out there in the suburbs, and spent a ton of time in the city in my teens. And New Yorkers are they're a riot and they're intense. And I love the people in Chicago. Still very Midwestern here, and
Hmm.
greatly segregated city. But it does when you
Oh
get to
yeah.
LA, it really does. I mean, like from the airport on, that you're just like you said, you're going to see people that like I didn't even know that was a country. You know, like, you're from where? You know.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for you and your experiences out there. I have LA on my list of um, it's at the top of my list of places that I want to live 2 years from now. So
Okay.
that's like
Okay.
it's where I want to go. I most of the people that are involved in the work that I'm doing now are in LA. So I really want to get out there. I got to find like $1 billion so I can afford a house. But
That
I love it out
yeah.
there a lot.
It is expensive here, that's for sure.
It's
Um,
crazy. It's absolutely
yeah.
mind-blowingly crazy. I mean, real estate in Chicago's expensive, but
Oh yeah, there too.
LA's, it's off the chain. I mean,
Definitely.
I like to joke that even the poor people have money and even the ugly people are pretty in California because it's just, it's just the level of everything there is a notch higher, you know.
Mhm.
A home that in Dubuque, Iowa would cost 150 or $200,000 and in Chicago might cost 600, in LA think it'd be 3 million bucks, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
millionaires live in like little starter homes out there.
Mhm.
So,
Some of the
it's a
homes, like I really enjoy driving on the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, and it
mhm.
just is, it's beautiful. It's right on the coast. The ocean's there. There's mountains. You drive through Malibu and you see these houses on the hill. There's literally this castle that is being built. It's a literal castle, like
I saw it. I
medieval.
was just there. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just being built and carved out into this mountain. And it's like, who lives there? What do you do? Like, where's this money coming
Probably
from?
like a king or something.
Right? It's like,
A
who could
Saudi
afford
prince.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Who lives there? I don't know, but one of those billionaires that are out there. So much opportunity though in LA for you as a musician and playing out at places. Are you looking forward to be able to play out live with the EP? Hopefully.
Yeah, I definitely am. I actually met a guitarist on Craigslist before I even moved out here, and we stayed in contact and we met up a couple weeks ago. And he's really good. Like he's a really very talented guitar player. Um, he specializes in jazz guitar, so he really, yeah, he's good. So we're
Nice.
planning, yeah, and he's been gigging around and for years. And so he's
Hmm.
got some places established that he's already been gigging at. So I'm just going to join him and hopefully get out there even before the EP drops and just do some
Hmm.
covers and yeah, just get my
Well,
name out there.
what we should do, because you got November, it's going to be here fast, isn't it? It's almost
Yeah, it
September.
is.
Holy
I
cow.
know.
Where did this year go? Where'd the last
It's
2 years
gone.
go?
It's gone.
Yeah, it is. We should do once your EP's out and you're performing it publicly. Um, we should have you and a few of my other friends on a show together because Christy Huff, Chris Angeles, Georgia Faros, they're all in LA. And so those would be, more cool people for you to, connect with and join that kind of that larger singer songwriter circle that I know is out there too. So, but it'd be fun to have
Oh
all of
yeah.
you together and have you sing some songs and hang out. So definitely want to invite you to one of those. I haven't done one of those for
Yeah.
a while, so that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would love to. Sounds
And
like fun.
anytime you've got, you just want to jump on, sing a few songs, we'll have you geared up with the keyboard and everything. Just hit me up. Let me know. The other thing that I'm always kind of looking for, again, is if you want to, I wouldn't mind once in a while on the big interview having like an occasional musical guest, but like a reoccurring guest, not quite like a talk show where you're the same music person all the time, but you know, always love to come up with ideas too to spread the word about you and your music and everybody that is a guest on the show. So anytime you think, hey, Revolution, I'd kind of like to do this, like, well, fine, let's set a date and get it going. And I would also kind of encourage you as well to if you want, play around with Haps a little bit and see if there is um, something, broadcasting and music and stuff that feels good to you too, because a lot of the singer songwriters that are that I know, well, all of them, honestly. Um, well, let's see. No, there are a couple that come on but don't do stuff on Haps. But there's a whole world of um, potential fans uh, in live streaming. So I know you talked about YouTube and those kind of things.
Hmm.
That said, I am happy to help, produce your first three episodes of something. If you decide there's something you want to do at live streaming or Haps. And if you want to do stuff here, literally anything you need, we can get it taken care of at Haps. It's still in beta. So, we definitely want, I say we meaning the Haps community, but even Haps itself, we want new and exciting and talented people on the platform. So, yeah, please come back
Absolutely.
whenever you want.
Thank you. You're so kind. What a nice guy this guy is.
Well, I appreciate that. My my big goal here is just to don't tell anybody, but have s- you know talented people like yourself on the show that get really famous someday, and I get automatic backstage access.
Front row
It's like
seats, you get the t-shirts, you get everything, all the
exactly.
merch.
I just walk in. I'm like, oh no, nope. My name's on the list right there. Oh no, I promise you, it's right there. And get to go backstage and watch you sing out to an audience. And I know that those things are going to happen. So the joy in doing this is just having you and so many wonderful people on this program. I am so fortunate to be able to sit here and meet absolutely amazing people. So yeah, I really enjoyed getting a chance to get to know you and talk, and just really was nice to have just a nice conversation about where you're going and what's coming up, and this is going to be fun. You're just more power to you. You're just
Yeah.
beginning to kick ass.
It's like, take a deep breath. Here it comes. It's coming. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like things are just, my September is already booked with things. So things are just coming fast. Opportunities come very quickly here in LA. If
Yes.
you, I mean, if you put yourself out there and,
Mm-hmm.
really look for opportunities, you don't even have to like really look at times. They come to you. So yeah,
Well,
I
that
feel
is
like things,
phenomenal. And no,
yeah.
I mean, the pace of opportunity, in LA and in New York, it's blinding, because I literally just like I had one and it just flew. I was like, I couldn't keep up with it. And it was like, shit, so they do. You got to be on your toes. And
You do.
yeah, just keep putting it out there. Just keep enjoying it. It's just so nice to enjoy what you do. And like I said, we're really lucky that we get to do what we like to do. And
Absolutely.
I really look forward to seeing you on the cover of, do they have magazines anymore? But, some kind of Billboard Hot 100 or something.
You do know that, well, I don't think you know this actually. I did some modeling back in the day in
Oh,
Michigan, and I did a campaign for Isabella Bank, which is like a local bank.
uh-huh.
And there was like a commercial. So I was on TV, and there was like a bus system that I was on, and then a billboard. So I guess that's my,
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, very good. Well, I'm going to have to explore this on the internet. Stay with me. I'm going to take us out. You and I will be here for a minute. It won't cut us off. But listen, everybody that watched, thank you very much. Willie, it was fun to see you. Daniel, great to see you as well. And I know we're going to have a lot of folks watching this on the replay. Check out Rachel's Instagram. Check out Rachel's um, TikTok. She's got a lot of covers and things on TikTok, and you get to hear her absolutely beautiful voice many times on TikTok. I've got her flow page and her Instagram. Just scroll back there a little bit and you will see them. I will pop them in the comments one more time in a little bit. Scooch Case, go to scoochcase.com. Look, folks, tell me about these Nura headphones. If you like them, I want to know more about them. And I appreciate all of you. I'll let you say goodnight to everybody, Rachel.
Thank you, everybody who took the time to listen tonight. I really appreciate it. Please find me on social media if you want to know about my upcoming EP. That's where you'll see the updates, mostly on my Instagram. I look forward to being on the show again and maybe seeing some of you again. So thank you so much.
That'll be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it already. Um, this is Revolution McInnes. This has been the big interview. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to sponsor us, if you want to subscribe, please do. And we will see you. Let's see, maybe Monday midday here in America with another update on Afghanistan. Otherwise, we should be back on Monday night. And thanks again, Rachel.
Thank you.
And good night, everybody. Peace be with you, and namaste.
Namaste.